Chapter 9 is a grand total of 6 verses, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. I just spent a good 30 minutes on this chapter because Nephi is describing the reasons he's going ahead and making 2 separate plates. One is obvious, he's making a history of his people, but the other one, he doesn't know why he's making it. He's just making it because the Lord told him to. It's the plates about the ministry of his people. And in verse 5, he says, "Wherefore the Lord hath commanded me to make these plates for a wise purpose in him, which purpose I know not." So he just says, some reason, I don't know why, but he's wanting me to do this. Then in verse 6 he says, "But the Lord knoweth all things from the beginning, wherefore he prepareth a way to accomplish all his works among the children of men. For behold, he hath all power unto the fulfilling of all his words." So I read that and thought, I want to investigate more into this wise purpose. So in verse 5, I looked at 5a, and in the footnotes it says go to Alma 37:14. And it says, this is Alma talking to his son Helaman. He's about to give the plates. This is hundreds of years have passed now, transpired since Nephi wrote what he wrote about not knowing the purpose. Alma, though, is giving the plates now to his son, many hundreds of years later, and says this, "And now remember, my son, Helaman, that God has entrusted you with these sacred things, these things which are sacred, which he has kept sacred, and also which he will keep and preserve for a wise purpose in him." Okay, that's not the end, but he, again, says wise purpose, okay? And then this is the next thing he says, "That he may show forth his power unto future generations." Seems that a few hundred years later, at least he knows one purpose. A prophet now knows one purpose, and that is that he may show forth his power unto future generations. Okay, so going on back to Nephi 9, 1 Nephi 9, it seems as though Nephi, unbeknownst to him, knew at least one purpose, because in verse 6 he says, "For behold, he hath all power unto the fulfilling of all his words." Okay, so Nephi, unbeknownst to him, knew of one purpose. Now, we know now in our day that those weren't all the purposes, and actually if you want to know more of the purposes of the Book of Mormon, you can find it in the first introduction, and it says, "This book is to show unto the remnant of the house of Israel what great things the Lord hath done for their fathers." I believe that might be the purpose that Nephi and Alma are talking about. Then it goes on and says, "And that they might know the covenants of the Lord." Okay, so there's a very wise purpose. "That they are not cast off forever, and also to the convincing of the Jew and the Gentile that Jesus is the Christ, the eternal God, manifesting himself unto all nations." All right, so there are several purposes, but that just spoke to me wildly. I know there's many things that we do in our lives that we feel inspired to do, and we understand that they're probably good, but we don't understand fully the impact that they're going to have generations from now. And so just play your part and trust that the Lord knows the purpose behind why he's asked you to do it, and do it with all your heart. Whatever measly, strength that you can muster to do it with, go ahead and just give it your all. The reason I say measly is because I feel like that a lot of times, like the parts he gives me, I don't have a whole lot to give in them. I don't have a lot of strength or mind power, but I just do it with whatever strength I can muster, and he typically makes something of it in the moment, but also there's unforeseen blessings that will come to those I served or to me even in the future. So just play your part well, and that's what I learned.